This is a demonstration of the Ekisa ScreenLogger system, using rule-based screen recording. I will start off by demonstrating the default remote trigger to manually start and stop a screen recording. Then I'll demonstrate how to use an application trigger to record the desktop of a workstation. Next, I'll introduce a time trigger in combination with an application trigger. Finally, I'll be using another application trigger to blank out sensitive information that may not be recorded. For this demonstration, I'll use two pre-configured Windows machines. The one will be the workstation to be recorded, and the other one the screen recording server. This is the ScreenLogger Management Studio application that runs on the server. The configurator and the screen server services are already deployed on this server and ready for screen recording. Let us connect to the configurator. There is a single workstation with the name of Ekisa WS1. This workstation is currently offline because no user or agent is signed in. I am now going to sign into the workstation with Windows username JDory. The ScreenLogger workstation software launches automatically on sign-in, and the workstation state can be observed to change from offline to in session when the workstation successfully connects to the server. Before I can use Management Studio, I need to sign in. A pop-up appears in Management Studio and I sign in as a user with administrator rights. Click on the workstation to select it and view the information on the Summary tab. Here are the machine name, IP address, the name of the user or agent that is currently signed in, its status and various configuration settings. In the Rules tab, there is a single recording rule with default remote trigger. The Playback tab has no recordings yet. I can monitor the desktop of the workstation in real time as well. Back in the Summary tab, I'll start a test screen recording using the default rule with remote trigger. And stop it after a while. Next, I'm going to create a new recording rule using an application trigger. Let us start a recording if the words global warming appears in the application name. I'll label the trigger and the rule global warming as well, and leave the capture rate on the default value of 1 image per second. I need to apply the changes to take effect. This will close the existing recording session with the default rule, and create a new session with the two rules. On the workstation, I am opening a web browser and search for the phrase, global warming. Note that the name of the web browser application has changed in the title bar to include the search text. As this is the same as the search text in the application trigger, the workstation state changes to recording. A red dot can be seen in the workstation icon to indicate that it is being recorded. After a few seconds, I minimize the browser application, and the screen recording stops. I have a text document titled Global Warming on the desktop. Notice that when I open the text document, the name of the document appears in the title bar of the application, in this case Notepad. This also triggers a screen recording, and stops when the document is closed. For the next demonstration, I am going to add another trigger to the recording rule. Let's change the name of the rule to Global Warming after 3 p.m. and add a second time trigger for the period from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. titled Afternoon Shift. On the workstation, I open the document again with Global Warming in the title bar. Notice that a recording is not started in this case because it is not 3 p.m. yet. Let's wait a while. The time now is 15 minutes after 3 p.m. Let us open the browser with a search result for global warming. As expected, a screen recording is successfully started. Note that the recording will continue even if another application is the foremost window and has input focus. This is configurable in the recording trigger. There is an option to stop recording if the target application does not have input focus. In this case, the recording stops when the target application is minimized or closed. Next, I am going to look at some of the recordings we just made. In the Playback tab, when a search is executed, it shows the recording sessions. Click on a session to expand it and reveal the screen recordings made in the session. Here is the recording I made when the web browser found a search result for global warming. And the next recording is where we opened the text document with the same title. In the session that started 3:15 p.m., we used the time trigger with the application trigger. For the last demonstration, I am going to use a blanking rule to prevent visible recording of confidential information. I created a text document titled Secret that contains fake credit card information as an example. The goal is to blank the screen and not show the credit card details when the document is opened while a recording is in progress. In the Rules tab, select Blanking Rules. Create a blanking rule with an application trigger where the application's name contains the word secret. When the text document with the same name is opened, it should prevent the contents of the document and the entire desktop to be visible. Here we go. Start by opening the web browser with the global warming search results. The desktop of the workstation is recorded. Next, I'll open the secret document on the workstation. We can no longer see the desktop. It turned black with the words confidential in the middle. And now I am closing the secret document and the desktop becomes visible again. Let's have a look at the screen recording. I am going to increase the playback rate. The recording starts off with the workstation's desktop visible, then the blanking rule kicks in. And lastly it appears again when the secret document is closed. These demonstrations are simplistic to illustrate the principles. In a real call center environment, the screen blanking is typically commanded by third-party software such as a voice recorder, which has been integrated with the Ekisa ScreenLogger product via the software development kit. In this scenario, screen recordings are often started and stopped by the voice recorder using the functionality provided by the SDK. This is the end of this demonstration. Thank you for watching.